Once, in a small mountain village where the clouds hung low and the air was always filled with the scent of pine, there lived a nurse named Amara. She wasn't just any nurse. People called her the whispering healer because she listened more than she spoke. And somehow, in her quiet strength, patients found peace even in their darkest hours. Amara worked at a humble village clinic perched on a hillside where time seemed to slow down. Most of the villagers had known her since she was a child. But there was one patient she hadn't known until a cold autumn morning, an old man named Elias. Elias had wandered into the village one day, alone and weary. He collapsed at the edge of the market, and the villagers brought him to the clinic. When Amara examined him, she knew he was very sick, with not long left to live. Candlelit room, wind rustling outside, Amara sits beside Elias's bed. Elias rarely spoke. But on his third night in the clinic, as the wind howled and the mountains groaned under the weight of winter's approach, he whispered to Amara, "I have one wish before I go." The next morning before sunrise, she arranged for a wooden cart, lined it with warm blankets, packed supplies, and told Elias, "We're going." Elias rarely spoke. But on his third night in the clinic, as the wind howled and the mountains groaned under the weight of winter's approach, he whispered to Amara, "I have one wish before I go." She leaned in, her soft eyes meeting his, and said, "Tell me, Elias. If it's within my power, I'll grant it." He looked out the window toward the distant peaks and murmured, "There's a tree." The tree. Amara had heard legends of it, a mystical tree, crimson as blood in autumn, growing alone atop the cliffs of the Forgotten Ridge, where the sky met the earth. The journey was treacherous, even for the healthy. Everyone told Amara it was impossible. But Amara had a spirit that didn't bow to impossibility. "Before war took me away, before sickness took her, I just want to see it one more time. Through rain, through wind, through the silent snow that fell like soft ashes, Amara walked." Sometimes she sang old songs to Elias. On the third day, they reached the cliff. The villagers watched in stunned silence as the nurse, slender but unyielding, pulled the cart by hand up the winding paths. A breathtaking view of a lone red tree against a golden sky. The tree stood there, just as Elias had described, its leaves blazing like fire in the wind. Amara helped him from the cart, and together, step by shaking step, they walked to the tree. She watched as Elias touched the bark with trembling hands, traced the faded carving, E plus L, forever.